There's a lot of noise these days surrounding transgenderism. In fact, there's an entire segment of society that believes gender is a social construct rather than biology. They believe that if a person feels that they belong to the opposite sex from their biology, well, that's what they are. Much of the brouhaha actually relates to men participating in women's sports. Along with that, they believe men should be able to go to the bathroom and use the dressing rooms that correspond to their gender feelings. Megan Rapinoe, the famous former American women's soccer star, is a big old advocate of this. To promote this, even some doctors' groups advocate for, quote, gender-affirming care. They believe doctors should provide drugs and even surgery to help children and youth transition to a different sex. Several states have even passed state laws to support it. They've gone so far as to advocate taking children from their parents who don't affirm a child's desire to transition. Some states even refuse to allow adoptions and fostering privileges to people who disagree with them. Another manifestation of this is putting men who identify as women into women's prisons. Now, what could go wrong there? So what's the harm in affirming transgenders, some people ask? I mean, live and let live, right? Well, the harm is all over the place. First, the desire to be a different sex is a psychological illness. It even has a name. It's called gender dysphoria. People are not helped when they're encouraged to reject reality, especially children. They don't know how to even handle that. They end up sinking deeper and deeper into their confusion. Second, girls competing against men in sports destroys fairness, and the evidence for that is just all over the place. A third thing is that men and women's private areas is just totally and completely immoral. Then a fourth thing, children forced to be in environments that support transgenderism are going to become more and more confused. When states put men in women's prisons, what's that resulted in? Well, it's resulted in attacks, rapes, and even pregnancies. Whenever people try to live life contrary to the structure of reality, you can just count on it, destruction is going to happen. If a person thinks they can fly, they're going to die if they jump off of a building. If a person believes they can eat poison and live, they're going to die. And if a person thinks that they can be an expert in something without any kind of training whatsoever, they're going to fail. By the same token, if a person thinks that they can be the opposite sex, they have a psychological problem. You can mutilate a person's body, but it's impossible to change their DNA. Reality exists as it exists, and those who deny it are going to pay a price, along with a lot of other folks that are around them. True reality exists as it's expressed in the teachings of the Bible. Anyone who wants to live a truly fulfilling life needs to get on board with that, and to ignore it will lead to a broken life on earth and an eternity separated from God. Market Faith Ministries is a worldview discipleship ministry, and we specialize in Christian discipleship training. We've created a new training opportunity called One Day Seminary for Everyday Believers. For those interested in finding out more, our contact information can be found at www.marketfaith.org. Check it out and follow us here for more practical apologetics help. This is Freddy Davis, president of Market Faith Ministries. See you next time.